The town of Raven Hollow, Pennsylvania, looked peaceful from a distance. Endless pine trees, quiet streets, and an old diner that hadn't changed since the 80s. But behind that calm, something had been rotting for years. People here didn't talk much. They kept their lives tidy, their yards clean, and their secrets buried deep. It started on a cold October night when the sheriff's office received a 911 call that sounded like static and breathing. The line went dead before anyone spoke. The call was traced to County Road 9 near the old Miller farmhouse, abandoned since 1999. When deputies arrived, the house was dark, except for a faint flicker inside, like candlelight. The front door was half open, and a muddy footprint led across the porch. Inside, the smell of damp wood and old decay filled the air. On the floor near the kitchen doorway lay a small silver locket, its chain snapped. Inside the locket was a picture of a girl, about 10 years old, and a name carved faintly on the back. Mia. Detective Eli Warren, a 39-year-old with a sharp eye and a darker past, was assigned to the case. He had transferred to Raven Hollow 3 years ago after an internal affairs investigation in Philadelphia forced him out. People said he was brilliant and dangerous. He said little, but his eyes carried the weight of every crime scene he'd ever walked into. The first thing Eli noticed was how cold the air inside the farmhouse felt. "No forced entry," he murmured. Someone was here, someone who knew this place. The records showed that the Miller family had disappeared in 1999. A father, a mother, and a little girl, Mia Miller, age 10. Their car was found at the edge of the woods. Doors locked, keys still in the ignition. The case was ruled unsolved, and locals whispered that the place was haunted. But now, 26 years later, someone had returned. Eli broke into the church that night. The basement smelled like mildew and guilt. Behind a false wall, he found a metal box. Inside, another VHS tape labeled Confession. He played it on his laptop. The footage showed the old sheriff sitting in his office, talking to someone off camera. Henry Dale wanted to stop the deal. He said the chemicals from the mill were poisoning the water. The Millers knew. So we took care of it, buried the car, burned the bodies, told the town they disappeared. It was cleaner that way. Eli froze. This was the proof. The sheriff had died years ago, but the recording was undeniable. The same sheriff whose name was on the police headquarters today. By dawn, Raven Hollow was burning. The church, the diner, the mayor's office, flames everywhere. Mia and Aaron had vanished again, but their message was clear. The truth cleanses nothing without fire. Oh, Eli uploaded the tape to every national outlet before the flames reached the station. Within hours, Raven Hollow was trending everywhere. Town of secrets, corruption cover-up exposed. FBI agents swarmed the ruins. But Mia and Aaron were never found. Eli now lives 3 towns away, retired early, drinking too much coffee and sleeping too little. Sometimes when he drives past the forest, he swears he sees a flicker of light, a cabin window glowing in the dark. The official report said the case was closed. But Eli knows better. Secrets don't die. They just find new homes. And sometimes they call again. In towns like Raven Hollow, truth is never buried. It's just waiting for the right storm to dig it out. And when it does, it doesn't ask for permission. It takes everything back. Eli woke up in the dirt, wrists tied. The man standing over him was in his 40s, beard thick, eyes hollow. It was Aaron Dale. "You cops never stop digging," Aaron said. "You think the town's clean now? It's worse. The same people who paid my father, they own you too." Eli's mind raced. Why kill now? Why after all these years? Aaron smiled coldly. Because she's back. He pointed toward a figure stepping out of the shadows. A woman, maybe mid-30s, with tired eyes and a scar on her cheek. Mia, Eli whispered. The missing girl from 1999. Chapter 7, Mia's Secret. Mia stared at him, her voice trembling. He didn't kill my parents. The sheriff did. My father recorded everything. The tape you found was only part of it. They buried the rest under the church. Aaron stepped closer. She's the reason I came back. We're going to burn this town to the ground. Eli tried to reason with them. If you do that, you'll destroy proof. Let me help you expose them. For a long moment, no one spoke. The only sound was rain hitting the tin roof. Finally, Mia cut the ropes. You have 24 hours, she said. Find the rest of the tape. Then leave Raven Hollow. Forever. After the tape leaked, the town buzzed with gossip. Old residents began to disappear again. One by one, people connected to Henry Dale's mill. His foreman, his accountant, his driver were reported missing. Someone was erasing the past. Eli's instincts screamed that the person behind the new crimes wasn't new at all. He started digging into Henry Dale's family. Turns out, Dale had a son, Aaron Dale, last seen in 2004. Arrested for assault, released on bail, and then vanished. Rumors said he'd been living in the woods north of Raven Hollow. The woods. The same direction the miller's car had been found. Chapter 5, The Woods. Eli followed the trail deep into the forest. The rain was falling hard, and his flashlight beam shook in the wind. Then he saw it. A small cabin hidden behind overgrown vines, smoke rising from the chimney. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of rot and gasoline. A wall was covered with photos, newspaper clippings about the Miller family, Henry Dale, and Eli himself. In the center of the room was a tape recorder and a note. Play me. Eli pressed play. A man's voice echoed through the room. You think you're here to find the truth, detective, but the truth found you long ago. My father didn't kill the Millers. He tried to save them. They were going to expose something bigger. The land, the deals, the money that built this town. The sheriff knew. The mayor knew. Everyone played their part, and now, so will you. Then, silence. Eli turned around. A shadow moved behind him. A shot rang out. Eli visited the diner the next morning. The old waitress, Martha, had been working there since the 1970s. When he asked her about the Millers, she hesitated. You shouldn't dig into that, detective. People around here, they like the past to stay buried. Someone broke into that house last night, Eli replied. If you know something, now's the time. Martha looked around the empty diner, then leaned in. That family didn't just disappear. They were taken, she whispered. Back then, there was a man, Henry Dale. He owned the lumber mill. Everyone owed him something. The sheriff, the mayor, even the priest. The Millers tried to expose him. Next thing anyone knew, they were gone. Eli felt a chill crawl up his spine. Henry Dale had died years ago, but his name was still whispered in Raven Hollow like a curse. That evening, Eli went back to the farmhouse with a flashlight and a camera. Dust swirled around him like fog as he stepped into the basement. There, half buried under debris, was a cardboard box labeled Evidence 1999. Inside were old photographs, newspaper clippings, and a VHS tape with no label. He brought it to the station. The tech department transferred it to digital, and what appeared on screen made everyone go silent. The footage showed Henry Dale in the same farmhouse, smiling at the camera. Behind him, tied to a chair, was a man who looked terrified. A woman's voice from behind the camera said, "Tell them the truth, Henry." Henry laughed. Then, the screen glitched. The next frame showed only the empty chair. The timestamp read, October 12th, 1999, 11:42 p.m. The same night, the Millers vanished.